strength and your days be multiplied. And be as an eagle, soar as an eagle, roar as a lion. Kadula kawasala, hey, yetukum silimatala. And above all, anyone that strive with us and contend with us at the gate of authority, at the seat of power, anyone who strive and contend with your people, Heavenly Father, exercising divine authority, anyone that takes our name and our picture to a shrine, to an altar for evil, let it backfire on them. Let it backfire in the name of Jesus. Anyone that speak ill and evil of your people, let their tongue be silenced. Let their tongue cleave to the root of their mouth. Anyone that speak evil of us, let their voice be discredited and silenced. Discredited and silenced. Anyone that imagine ill or evil of us by divine authority on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, according to the scriptures, as this is written, I command, let it boomerang, boomerang, boomerang. Put your hands and say boomerang, 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 boomerang. We intercept the waster. We waste the waster. We oppose opposition. In the name of Jesus, we resist the resistor. Thank you, Lord. As you live here, I declare you will not be wasted. Let the waster be wasted. Let every opposition be opposed. Let every resistance break. Live here with the upper hand. Have dominion. And now we send the blood of Jesus to your father's house, to your mother's house, to your background. Anything that lifts up his head against you, in the name of Jesus, we ground it in the blood of Jesus. We ground it in the name of Jesus. Above all, any condition, pattern and cycles that are contrary to the will of God, to the word of God, to the plan of God for your life, today on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, we intercept it. Put your hands and say interception, interception, intercept, interception, interception, interception. We intercept, intercept, intercept contradictions. We intercept contradiction. We command you in the name of Jesus as more than a conqueror. Tell somebody, I declare that you are more than a conqueror. Tell two people, I declare that you are more than a conqueror.
Tanumo onunchoni ha o dama chiechele wekun wani anutumo osole moji ake obawo nani aya baba shoshoeshwe. Amen.
That's what I believe. See his sunshine is all around us, and there are beautiful clouds where you are. That's how I know that these worries will not last. I can see you've been crying and staying wide awake, asking yourself why the journey is so tough. They say tough times never last, only tough people do. So don't stop believing, I know it's gonna be better. Say la, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 ba-dum. Can't be loved by everybody, it's impossible, you know. And trust me, it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So I wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on! La 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum boom. La 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum boom. La 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 la, la 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 la, ba-dum ba-dum boom. La 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 la, la 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 la. Around the way. Beautiful clouds, where you are, where you are. There are beautiful clouds, where you are, where you are. Oh, oh.
And I now give the floor to Her Excellency Madam Rita Odolesowa, Deputy Minister of Local Government and Religious Affairs of Ghana.
Thank you very much. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Ghana welcomes this high-level meeting as an important milestone in accelerating implementation of the new urban agenda towards 2036. We commend the United Nations for convening this platform to review progress identify gaps, and renew global commitment at this midpoint. Over the past decade, Ghana has made steady progress through strong national leadership, decentralized governance, and evidence-based planning led by the National Development Planning Commission and the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs. Multidimensional poverty declined from 24.9% in 2024 to 21.9% in 2025. Access to basic services remains high, with 96.9% access to water, 94.8% to electricity, and 63.4% to sanitation. These gains have been supported by social protection programs, including LEAP, the National Health Insurance Scheme, and the School Feeding Program, as well as key reforms such as the Land Act and the Affirmative Action Act. We have also strengthened urban governance, economic productivity, and institutional performance through digital systems, skills development, and private sector participation. However, progress has not kept pace with rapid urbanization. Housing remains our most pressing challenge. Ghana faces a housing deficit of more than 1.8 million units, while up to 37% of urban population lives in informal settlements. Ghana is focused on 4 priority actions to accelerate delivery of the new urban agenda. First, scaling affordable and inclusive housing through implementation of the 2024 Housing Profile Recommendations and the National Slum Upgrading and Prevention Strategy. Second, strengthening integrated urban development and spatial planning through the National Urban Policy 2026 to 2035. Third, expanding urban infrastructure and local economic development through initiatives such as the Ghana Secondary Cities Program, GARRET Project, the Smart SDGs Program, and the Sustainable Cities Program. Fourth, advancing climate resilience and economically sustainable cities while strengthening urban governance, institutional capacity, coordination, and data systems, including the operationalization of a Ghana Urban Observatory. Looking ahead, Ghana reaffirms its commitment to accelerating implementation. We will scale up affordable housing and slum upgrading, strengthen local government fiscal capacity, expand sustainable urban financing, integrate climate resilience into planning and infrastructure, and enhance data systems and digital governance. These efforts will be pursued in partnership with our development partners, the private sector, and local communities. Ghana underscores the importance of stronger international cooperation. We call for increased and predictable financing for housing and urban development, direct access to climate finance for cities, and expanded technical and multilateral collaboration. In conclusion, Ghana remains firmly committed to ensuring that our cities provide adequate housing, basic services, resilience, and opportunity for all, ensuring that no one and no place is left behind. Thank you.
Integrity must be nurtured across the entire ecosystem of governance and public life. That is why the NACAP talked about the curriculum in schools. Because at this stage, some of you are, you reach a stage that if you try to bend the stick, it will what? It will break. It will just snap. But when you start them young and training them, I think they can save us. And many of you who rush your children abroad to study, I beg you, you don't love your children. Because you know you are going to lose them. It's when they study here and get to a stage of maturity and they want to advance, and they're going to do masters, PhD, and that kind of thing, then you have hope that they will come back. Those you carry as babies and send there, they don't even come to your funeral. It's true. They don't know you. They don't have any attachment. They don't like your country. There's no patriotism there. They don't know what is a family. Because over there, there's nothing like that. If there's something smelling in the house, they call the law enforcement with that, hey, there's some scent coming from this flat. They go there and the carriers will pick the body, and that's the end. And you send them to go and be there. Please, I beg you, let's change our ways.
Is the construction of roads, the construction of bridges never seen in the history of Ghana before. Mr. Speaker, this finance minister has indeed given a good account of himself. And that is why this House must commend him highly. Mr. Speaker, clearly, under this finance minister, Ghana is working again. Mr. Speaker, I believe that with Dr. Atuforsen managing our economy, we can all go to sleep with two eyes closed, because he will deliver. Mr. Speaker, as for the issues that my friends in the minority have raised, I am surprised that when we have been presented with a mid-year review of the budget, we are seeking to castigate the judiciary of this country. You are castigating the judiciary because it is not the Attorney General who convicted Wontumi. It is not Atuforsen who convicted Wontumi. It is a judge who convicted Wontumi. So the place to go to is the court, where he has been convicted. Go and fight your case in the court. I have full confidence in the judiciary. And I know that if you go there, you Mr. Speaker, this is not a forum to discuss Wontumi. It won't be fair to Wontumi for us to make him the subject matter of debate. So, Mr. Speaker, let me join this House to commend the Finance Minister and to assure the Finance Minister of the support of this House, of the support of Parliament as he continues to work and improve the finances and the economy. Finance Minister, this morning or this afternoon, you have laid a number of bills. You have laid a number of bills which we believe are all aimed at helping you achieve your various targets. This House will diligently go through the bills and ensure the passage of the bills. Mr. Speaker, why is the minority leader thinking that he should take the same time as myself? I speak for 189 people. I speak for 189 people. You speak for how many people? Let's count them. How many are they? How many are they? How can the person who speaks for 189 share the same time as the person who speaks for 87? How does that happen? How does the person who speaks for only 87 have the same time as the person who speaks for 189? Mr. Speaker, so be measured in terms of what you ask for.
Honorable.
Look at your size when you're asking for material.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader, they will still keep your time for you. Yes, Minority Leader. Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there was a clear understanding of 10 minutes each. I complied with it. The clerk communicated. Mr. Speaker, we were both timed. The majority leader's time ended, and then he was given additional time. Mr. Speaker, I was going to talk about the free SHS that they couldn't implement with internally generated funds, and now they are going to borrow. But I held back. Mr. Speaker, just exiting IMF, they've gone for 1 billion cedis. I kept quiet. Mr. Speaker, $1 billion. But because I wanted to act within time, I acted within time. And now the majority leader has been given extended time. And all he says is that he needs 189, which will soon dissipate. Mr. Speaker, I think the right time for debate will come. He should try and end this so that we delve into the issues, because the finance minister for 2 hours on his parliament message.
Minority Leader, with all due respect,
all I want to say.
Let me bring it to your attention that I am not the timekeeper. They are keeping the time up there, which would automatically cut at 10 minutes. I think the clerk can attest to that. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, if you observe, for most of the time I was on my feet. I was not talking because you were making a lot of noise and heckling. So I was quiet, if you observe. You see, when you heckle and I shout back at you, I haven't respected you. The reason is that there's a proverb among my people, but I will not use that proverb. So please, when you are talking, I keep quiet because I respect you. I have to listen to you. If you are talking across and I'm also talking across, we are not listening to each other. And the children who are watching from home will be learning a very bad lesson. That's why anytime you start, I keep quiet. That was what ate into my time. If not, strictly speaking, I did not even speak for up to 5 minutes. Strictly speaking. And I have a strategy where when a finance minister comes and delivers a very, very sweet message, I don't want to dilute it. I don't want to dilute it. I know the strategy of my friend opposite is to take attention away from this beautiful message to Chairman Wontumi. That's the strategy. If I follow him along that line, I would have assisted him to achieve his objective. So I will not discuss those matters. So let us leave it here. We'll have the time to comment on the statement, for about 2 or 3 days to comment on the statement. At the level of leadership, we'll discuss the time allotment. The proposal is that we start the commentary tomorrow. Will we be sufficiently prepared to start tomorrow? Yeah. It's obvious that you are not ready now. Because when you were given the opportunity, you were talking about Wontumi. When you are given the opportunity, you are talking about Wontumi instead of the media statement. So you are clearly not yet ready. So we'll make copies available to you. When you read that, you might see that it has nothing to do with Wontumi. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much.
Honourable members, we defer further comment on the statement. We then turn to order paper addendum 2. At commencement of public business, presentation of papers. Yes, we are now coming to do presentation of those papers. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, just for your guidance, the statement that the finance minister...
Yes, the statement has been duly laid.
Yeah, no, Mr. Speaker, where he first laid it, Mr. Speaker, there is a particular spot where such important policies... I am interested in when I'm not interested. Mr. Speaker, it is curious to find that the government MPs are going out now and they are not even in white because they find the statement uninspiring. The last time they came in white and now all of them are running away. You see, Mr. Speaker, all of them are going out. I said it. All of them are leaving. They are not even well attired in their usual white because there's no inspiration. If you see the mixture of dresses, multicolored dresses, there is no white, no inspiration. They are all leaving. The budget is empty. They are all leaving, Mr. Speaker.
With all due respect, the table is the table of the House and is very long. The clerk is in charge. Honorable Minister responsible for finance, you may now lay item numbered 1 on the order paper addendum 2.
Request for a multi-year expenditure commitment to engage a service provider to assist with the implementation of the Fiscal Electronic Device (FED) policy for the Ghana Revenue Authority. Request for a multi-year expenditure commitment to engage a firm to develop and deploy the Ghana Domestic Revenue Collection Platform. Request for a multi-year expenditure commitment to engage Principal Consult Limited to develop, implement and deploy cross-border e-commerce VAT monitoring and collection system, the Sentinel system for the Ghana Revenue Authority.
Honourable members, the item numbered 1 on the order paper addendum 2 at page 1, I have all been duly presented and they are referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and reports. Yes.
This amount of money, we are going to reallocate that amount of money. But let me tell you, for 2026, the budget is sealed. So he didn't even tell us that the 400 million Ghana cedis that he said he was going to reallocate, he didn't even show us where it's going to come from. It is just about talk. You go to the appendices, you find out the numbers, you see the numbers. All the long talk is the appendices that will tell you whether truly that is going to happen or it is not going to happen. All that he said today, I'm going to add 1,000 kilometers of road. Go and check the appendices and see whether the budget, the numbers supports an extra 1,000 kilometers. The numbers have been sealed already. It was sealed in November 2025 when the 2026 budget came into was passed in Parliament. So these are some of the things that we want you to go and look at. Don't just take, the talk as he said it, but go and look in the numbers. And finally, my minister, former minister, mentioned the fact that already Bank of Ghana had spent $900 million on Gold Board. When you look in the mid-year budget review, it also gives you your 2025 actuals. And in 2025, the 2025 actuals, for the last quarter, the Minister for Finance also spent another $297 million on Gold Board, translating into 4.5 billion Ghana cedis. Let's ask them, what is this at all with Gold Board that is siphoning so much money from us? $900 million from Bank of Ghana and $297 million from the Ministry of Finance. That is one thing I expect the journalists to go in there and find out from them what exactly is happening there. That from Bank of Ghana, you are siphoning $900 million, and then from Ministry of Finance, $297 million. Just in the last quarter. When I say the last quarter of 2025, I mean October, November, December of 2025. And that is worrying. And I expect our journalists and the people who really think and care about this nation to go and find out what is it that is happening at the Gold Board that BOG incurs $900 million. Ministry of Finance also incurs $297 million. And the minister also mentioned the fact that the Fiscal Council and the Value for Money offices are already making impacts. These two offices haven't been set up at all. So how come they haven't been set up, yet their impacts have been reflected in the statement he made today? Settings. Please, let's listen, let's open our eyes, let's ask questions. The Value for Money bill has been passed, all right. The Fiscal Council, yes, we know about it, but it hasn't been formed. So how come you are able to say that both the Value for Money office and the Fiscal Council is already making impact to the tune that can reflect in the economy? Clearly, there's nothing like that. So when you are asking these questions, these are some of the things I expect you to also answer. And then when you look at, the minister kept mentioning, the fiscal policy that they have introduced, they are trying to live within their means. And then here is an agency under the Ministry of Finance, that is Ghana Revenue Authority. Parliament voted for you to spend 5.1 billion in 2025, and guess what? They added an extra 100 million. As there's an adage which says that so if you want to check people going over and above their expenditure, it should come from your own home. And then your own home cannot happen to, purport to be living within their means and spend extra 100 million that Parliament did not vote for GRA. These are some of the things we expect the journalists to also ask the minister. That you say, yes, you are living within your means. How come an agency under you, an agency that you manage, has gone over and above their budget for 2025 by over 100 billion? That is very important. Even 1 million is so much money. How much more? 100 million. This is something you should think about, and this is something you should also ask the minister. But I think in the coming days, we'll come up with quite a number of issues that we have noticed in this 2026 budget. I want to tell you that the numbers for 2026 are sealed. So whatever the minister came here to say concerning monies that they are going to reallocate, monies that they are going to use for anything, it is not the case, because the 2026 budget are sealed, and the minister did not come with a supplementary budget. If he had come with a supplementary budget, that is when he could have added on more finance, more expenditure. But there's nothing like that. So once there's no supplementary budget, there are no added additional revenues, and the revenues are even performing very poorly. So once there's nothing like that, the reallocation, I'm doing 1,000 kilometers of road, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, it's all talk, and the numbers do not speak to that. Thank you very much.
Not introduce any new taxes. You heard him loud and clear. It is our hope that you do not have a short memory, as they are hoping that you do. Remember, they've told you that the people of Ghana have a short memory, so they can tell you anything and they believe you would have forgotten the facts. For the records, they introduced a 2% growth and sustainability levy on the gross production of mining companies, a special import levy of 2% on cost, insurance and freight value of certain goods, and then 15% VAT on non-life insurance premiums. The fourth tax they introduced was the growth and sustainability levy for 2026, 2027, 2028. Then they also introduced the special import levy for 2026, 2027, 2028. and then the 8% Dumsor levy, the one they brought almost at midnight. Before they brought the petroleum-related levies, and then what we call the fishing levy, the withdrawal of the tax exemption on marine gas oil supply to industrial fishing vessels. Those are 8 taxes that this government introduced. Yet today, the minister was telling you they hadn't introduced new taxes. Even today, if you didn't pay attention, you would have missed the fact that he introduced one more tax. Yeah. He said they are going to remove the tax exemption on bunkering. When you remove the exemption, you have introduced a tax. But this is the PR and settings that they do. They hide it in flowery language. And if you are not careful, you will not realize it. Senior Amin talked about the fact that they didn't mention the numbers. This is the first time we have had a mid-year review in which the Minister of Finance refuses to mention the revenue target and actual and the expenditure target and actual. This is the first time. Because the essence of a mid-year review is that you are going to review how you have performed target to actual. We are in a community of reading men, and so we read. Go to Appendix A, and he tried to hide it there. 2A, he tried to hide it there. The revenue target for the year is 268 billion. Half year is supposed to be 134 billion. You know what the minister did? That's what Minister Amin was referring to. He deliberately understated it that half year is supposed to be 126 billion. So that when he tells you that his half year actual is 124, you will think he has only missed it by 2 billion. But actually the difference between 134 billion and 124 billion is 10 billion. That is a 7% shortfall on revenue. Yesterday when we met you, we told you that they are manufacturing the primary balance and the overall fiscal balance. And we'll prove to you. When you go to the expenditure side, what he couldn't mention on the floor, the one is hidden in the appendices. Total expenditure is 302 billion. Half year is supposed to be 158. That 158 includes the 35 Agenda 111 buildings they promised to do. It includes some of the contractors that they are supposed to pay under Big Push. It includes their flagship programs like the 1 million coders, Jumerura, 24-hour economy, all of those ones. You will be heartbroken to find out that half year 158 billion, they have actually only released 127 billion. The difference is 31 billion Ghana cedis. You know what 31 billion Ghana cedis can do to create jobs, to impact lives? And that's a 20% shortfall on expenditure. This is how they are manufacturing the overall balance. This is how he's able to now tell you that, oh, the deficit is now this way and the primary balance is now this way, because he's suppressing expenditure in the most critical sectors. I just want to speak about 2 other issues and then I'll yield to my colleague. The minister also looked the people of Ghana in the face and told us that this is the first time that the Ghanaian economy has hit about $100 billion. Literally, if you do the conversion, about 1 trillion Ghana cedis. In 2024, we went past that mark. Yes. We went past 1 trillion in 2024. Yes. Why would you look the people of Ghana in the face and tell us this blatant untruth? It is because they are hoping that you will forget the figures. But we on this side of the house, we pay attention to the details. This is the first time that the minister has mentioned growth. Yes, 6.4, but has not been able to disaggregate that growth and tell you the sources. Remember yesterday we told you that if you disaggregate, it is mostly because of gold, reliance on high gold prices. And that in the minister's own accounting that he did, he said that if your growth is based on gold, it's a galamsey economy. He knows that if he tells you the disaggregated sources, you will figure out that what they are applauding themselves for is a reliance on gold. And so, colleagues, we are here to tell you that just as we mentioned at the beginning prior to this, they are manufacturing the balances, they are not delivering on their programs. I yield to my colleague, Honorable Abena, to make a few more submissions and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think
Mr. Speaker, all
Others went and took the name of Jesus. Now they are patriots. And now the couple of the second year. And when they prepare their life to partake before they have obeyed all the please, the whole object of our corporate is so that they will mature into big men, and then they will show and they will utilize for life. So if they are being utilized for life, the whole I think on this very life, I want to get this.
The message. We are working on two. Only talk about in the meantime. Before video.
I invite the Minister of Finance to make the statement.
Masa.
Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of His Excellency the President of the Parliament, I have the humble duty to present the media fiscal policy review of the 2026 budget and economic policy of government. Speaker, before I proceed with this media fiscal policy review, I wish to acknowledge the devastating floods that struck part of our country last night. Right Honorable Speaker, as honorable members will recall, the floods claimed lives, displaced families, destroyed businesses, and caused extensive damage to public infrastructure. Ghana was not alone. Similar floods also affected Nigeria, La Côte d'Ivoire, and Senegal.
Government is broke, But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, so it's a Tuesday. All right, sorry about that. It's a Tuesday. Today is the 28th of July, 2026. Thanks for tuning in to Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moore. It's always a pleasure to come your way. It's a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning. I keep saying it's a beautiful Tuesday morning because we're still alive and kicking. I want to say a big thanks to the Almighty God for making that possible. It's actually a rare privilege to be back here. So we say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Once again, my name is Audu Moro. Remember that this show is brought to you by Metro Digital and also live on 94.1 FM. Let me go straight ahead and look at what the papers are reporting this morning. So not just the papers, but also the online portals and then also what the quote cards are saying. So Daily Graphic this morning says, ICU petitions Mahama over VACO proposed sale. 4 years after explosion, Apiate victims suffer in relief camp. Now, doctor uses 20,000 cedis cash reward to equip Paga Hospital. Ghana completes IMF bailout, a final $360 million of $3 billion approved. The Ghanaian Times says the ICU kicks against proposed sale of VACO, petitions president to halt process. Africa must benefit from its minerals. So I'm talking Ghanaian Times, yes. Cultivate nation builders to solve societal challenges. Alex Moore challenges varsities. Strengthening maternal care, key to reducing disabilities. Dr. Adusu. 2 Ghanaians killed in renewed xenophobic attacks in SA, Foreign Affairs Minister. And Adamos Resources wins 2026 Intermine Safety Quiz. Daily Guide, the HEPA Plus commits $3,000 to herbal medicine research. Bankras Project, SC didn't affirm High Court ruling. Exim Bank case, Wontumi gets more time for plea bargain deal. Adamos crowned the Intermine Quiz champions. And there's 2 Cath workers convicted for forgery. The Insight says that you touch Ken at your own peril. The base movement warns MPP. Ablakwa urges Nigeria to probe attacks on Sam Jonas investment. Adamos crowned champions of 2026 Intermine First Aid and Safety Competition. Africa's mineral boom must not become another resource curse, MIDA CEO. Africa Coalition for Academic Freedom demands immediate release of detained university lecturers. Freedom in Tanzania. 2026 Blejo Festival, Nungwa Manche visits Ancestral Burial Ground to perform rites, seek blessings and protection. Ukraine no longer a sovereign country, says sociologist Volodymyr Ishenko. The New Republic says that Bonnie and Clyde playbook returns. Making $2.3 billion handover, a story of how Ghana's sovereign wealth fund became a patronage piggy bank and is now fighting to survive. Wuntumi's legal shuffle raises questions as Apia Kubi substitutes for Ata Achia. Daily Post, Ghana Medical Trust Fund briefs Otunfo on progress and vision for expanding specialized healthcare. Ibrahim Muhammad denies interest in Valco acquisition, threatens legal action. Julius Deborah earns PhD in Museum and Heritage Studies. Muhammad congratulates him. The Chronicle says that Takwa Mine lease renewal, Goldfields puts its cards on the table. Paid 5.8 billion cedis in Texas, 8.8 billion cedis in local procurement in 2025, and invested $110 million in infrastructure. Salma Chief, youth maintain opposition to Adamos Resources. Let me now look at the Business and Financial Times is my next paper. So the Business and Financial Times this morning is reporting that private capital holds key to next growth chapter, according to KPMG. Gold powers $8.8 billion trade surplus in first half in 2026. Yara introduced 2 new crop solutions to help improve farmer yields and strengthen food security. And then you also have Goldfields reaffirms commitment to partnership, responsible mining, and shared value at Takwa. The Daily Searchlight, 80% of Ghana's school children have experimented with the drugs, claims survey. Controversy over Apostle Kwejo Safo's burial as family heads to court over will. Oh Lord, this matter. Ghana Supreme Court marks 150 years as Judicial Service suspends Greater Accra Court sittings for historic anniversary celebration. As Wuntumi's Exim Bank trial moves toward possible plea deal as state and defense advance negotiations. The base movement shows compassion to churches affected by floods. And then on MetroTVOnline.com, you have Whole West MP donates 2 fully equipped ambulances to NAS. And the GFAH's Premier League clubs to meet July 31 club licensing deadline. Mohamed Kudus is set for, or is Kudus, say Kudus, set for Tottenham return after injury. Roberto De Zerbi has been talking. Petrol and diesel prices could go higher this week, according to COPEC. Ghana secures final $371 million IMF disbursement at bailout end. Bagwin launches National Integrity Awards to honor honest leadership. So let's now look at what the court cards are saying, and then I can bring you in. I can let you in on my guest today. So the court cards are saying this morning that GES threatens prosecution over SHS misconduct. As cared for Metro TV Online, as Atachia steps in as Wuntumi's new counsel in Exim Bank fraud case. And then there's also another 150 Ghanaians return home from South Africa. No truth to Ibrahim Mahama, Valco claims, according to Aid. I'm sure it's about Rafiq Mahama. Kofi Adams calls for overhaul of Ghana national team's management structures and or structure. That's it for what the court cards are saying. All right, so stay with us. My guests are seated. We'll kickstart the conversation shortly. Please don't go anywhere. I beg you.
Tanumo, Onunchoni ha o dama, Chiechele wekun, Wanyanu chumo, Osolimoji ake. Ubawo nani.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302 998 246 or 0561 032 252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us on 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy man for Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, a man is swing, Nesansu Mama Hotel so a will bedroom.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all. Her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste. This advert is FDA approved.
From the rich soils of Ghana, our farmers grow the finest ingredients. We clean, hand select, and carefully craft into bold, unforgettable flavors. And when you open our little bag of big taste, it's pure, bold, unforgettable flavor bursting in every bite. Enjoy the goodness, made with big care. This advert is FDA approved.
All right, you are watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. My guests are here and the conversation will start. So Fifi Boafo, once upon a time was a journalist. He's still a journalist. He tells me, you know, it's not what he tells me. That's what it is. Once a journalist, always a journalist. He is at some point heading the public affairs and directorate or department at Cocoa Board. He was also he worked very, very closely with the Cocoa Board CEO at the time. So it wasn't just one of those ordinary, when I say ordinary, I'm using that in relative terms, Director of Corporate Affairs, but he was very instrumental. He was supporting the Chief Executive Officer to be able to discharge his mandates. And so it made sense when a lot of the times when issues come up, he was the one who was speaking, not just for Cocoa Board, he was speaking for him sometimes personally, even in opposition when issues come up. So that's how closely they worked. Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning.
Good morning, Mauro.
It's always a pleasure to have you join us on the show.
A pleasure is mine.
Nice suit, nice suit.
Are they taking inspirations from you?
No, it can't be. I am a commoner, you are not.
No, but you know one interesting coincidence? You, after introducing your other guests,
yes.
Be like the two of you, they wear the same shirt.
I know. You know, this morning when we ran into each other, I said, well, he was the one who asked, he said, what's happening? I said, I have no idea. You know, the only thing I said was great minds think alike. That's not to say.
He's always in suit.
He's always in suit, yes. If you know Fifi is always in suit.
You don't know that. You're always in suit.
Way back in the day when I used to go to Oman FM to visit him and his friends Solo and Ohime, he's always in suit. He likes his suit. He doesn't joke at all.
I wear jeans sometimes too. I have to go and do some papa from here.
Okay.
You know,
it's important.
But I hope it's Ghanaian made though.
You know, he needs to build, if let me put it that way, because sometimes when you use that expression, it connotes something quite negatively, but he needs to mobilize resources, let me put it that way.
He's going for a member of
because, you know,
I'm aware of that.
He has MP ambitions.
Yes. You know, I'm actually, my company, I'm doing a presentation to a
company. Oh, that's good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's good.
So, if you are going to pitch for a business, you must.
No, you must look your best. They say people buy you before they buy ideas. If you don't present well, you know that's another matter. Anyway, so Atta Issa.
I have to pay the bill, so.
No, you have to.
You are not here.
Atta Issa is here.
I know. The cash basket.
I know.
Cash basket.
Atta Issa is
the star boy of the finance ministry.
Atta Issa is under a lot of pressure.
He's a star boy.
What's your how many, you know, what's your constituency population?
Now it's about 106,000.
Wow, that's a lot. Are you the biggest constituency?
No.
It's Tamale South.
Oh,
the biggest constituency.
The 100, is it voters or voters? But Takwa is bigger.
Oh no, that's what enemy is more.
But Takwa is actually bigger.
Your town?
Tamale is big.
Oh, Tamale is big.
Takwa has a voter population of 140,050.
Whoa.
Takwa alone. Takwa is right there.
Alone. Wow. So that's Takwa there's a Soham. That's what you're talking about.
It has a voter population.
You know, because of his activities, so it drives a lot of people.
Yes. To what extent do you people take, for instance, let me tell you who he is, just in case you're seeing for the first time, even though he's a public figure, his face is all over the place, but he's MP for the Sakanarugu constituency.
I like the way you've mentioned it.
Well, you've been teaching me. Yes. I cannot feel. I have to pass my exams.
You know, I am told he's also the unofficial spokesperson
for the finance ministry.
Finance ministry and DOG. They are there now.
Everybody mischief.
You know, he used to be on this seat, and then he would tell the person that stopped the mischief.
And he's in it.
You see how switching positions can change.
If one is spokesperson for finance minister,
no, he's on the finance committee.
DOG.
No, he's on the finance committee. He's on the finance committee.
I mean, give me 5.
I said he just left the cash basket, Cocoa Board.
Yes.
So 1.5 years.
You mean Fifi was very happy at Cocoa Board?
Very strong. Very.
He was very happy at Cocoa Board.
Yes.
Does that perception, has that perception adversely affected you? This perception said as some. You know what I mean?
Let me
see. Cocoa Board.
Maybe my colleagues, former colleagues at Cocoa Board won't like this, but I don't think it's a bad thing to say.
Right.
There's a very strong perception out there that, well, Charlie, all the cash is at Cocoa Board.
Yes.
And they even suggest that if you work at Cocoa Board, you earn so much. But the truth is that if you rank even state institutions that pay well, Cocoa Board will not be among the first 10.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Cocoa Board will not be among the first 10. But the perception out there is that, well, Charlie, if you are Cocoa Board, everything has Cocoa. It is not true. Of course, we have friends who have also worked in other government agencies.
Yeah.
And Charlie, when you do the comparison, Cocoa Board is nowhere close. Except that the Cocoa Board is an institution that deals with a lot of people, and especially farmers. So when you are dealing with farmers, these are people who are largely with very limited income.
Yeah.
So when you do the comparison, unlike somebody working at GPHA and the kind of people they deal with, and then those who work at Bank of Ghana and those they relate with.
Okay.
So the perception out there is entirely different from the reality. Honestly,
I don't know how.
I do not pity. I do pity the people who work at Cocoa Board, honestly, because the perception and the reality is entirely.
It's not entirely bad though. I've worked with you people before. I think I did my national service with Cocoa Board. That time, share unit.
Share, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and Mr. Vincent Anchirina.
Yeah.
That time. So that time Farouk too was there.
Yeah.
At that time, was it Kodapek, or he was a procurement manager for one of the at Kingsway.
Kingsway, yeah. Okay, Kodapek.
Yes, we were there with him.
Yeah.
So, and after that, I did some 4 or 5 months, then I moved.
Okay.
Bank of Ghana that time.
Okay.
So, Cocoa Board, yes, I don't know the rankings, but my brother is good. It's quite better than others.
Of course, you will not say that
Hopefully,
Cocoa Board is the worst paid
in
institution.
my case, I was just a staff. But in your case, we are talking about no, but an exalted staff.
You mean like assaulted, right?
Yes. I'm wondering if there is something like that in the organogram of Cocoa Board.
It would be in the organogram.
Then it doesn't exist.
No,
it's only fiction.
But that time there was also somebody who was playing the role you came to play. I've forgotten his name.
Is it Amwa?
Amwa.
Okay.
Very powerful. And I know the power you people have with that role. So
it's a responsibility, not power.
Right.
Let's define it that way.
Yes.
But whatever be the case, Moro, your man is good. He's good.
He's fine. Okay. He doesn't need you.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Spokesperson for the finance minister and BUG.
No, he says he's not at the level where you need him yet.
Hold on, Master. Finance minister and BUG.
Right.
Hey. BUG alone is sufficient. And the other finance minister. He's a big man.
Okay. So gentlemen, I know that expectedly we will be looking at the media budget review. In fact, it's the biggest conversation for the week. But as we do here sometimes on the show, we have the presenter sometimes is allowed that leeway to bring a matter which is I would say, bothering him per se, but a matter which he finds interesting that he thinks that he would want to seek your views on. Now, Fief, I'm happy you're here, and I'm happy you're here for two reasons. Because you've been a journalist before. You have a very good sense of what you believe should be something to talk about, per your training and your level of professionalism when you were at Oman FM. Now, and of course, the second reason being that you're a politician now. Now you're a fully fledged politician, because very soon you're going to be the MP for Tarkwa Nsoim, and I don't have any doubt that you would win that seat, because you're the type of guy that the people there deserve. You're a good guy. Yes, nobody's perfect, but you're a good guy.
Thank you.
Now, what is this base movement? In fact, I saw their video, I think at the early part of this year, sometime February, March, or I think April, thereabout. And I saw the likes of Ejako and one Mr. Boateng, who I'm told is a financier of the movement. And, then at some point we hear there's another group called something, the Base Movement, something, similar to them. They took them to court and all kinds of things. And interestingly, some of their spokespersons were saying that they want Kennedy Ejapong to lead them into the 2028 elections. Now, the spokesperson for Kennedy Ejapong, who is also the former spokesperson for the Education Ministry. And the name has even escaped me.
Kwesi Kwarteng?
Yes, Kwesi Kwarteng. He's come out to say that Ken Agyapong has nothing to do with the base movement. But they're also saying that Ken has something to do with the base. So it's become his word against that of the group. Now, this morning is about 3 papers or so that's talking about the base movement. In fact, they actually have they've actually been issuing a warning to your party, and they're saying that you touch Ken at your own peril. The base movement wants NPP. So there was a press conference yesterday, apparently. Now, it says the newly formed political grassroots organization and pressure group, the base movement, which is an offshoot of the opposition New Patriotic Party, has dared the latter to do its worst by either expelling Ken Agyapong from the party or imposing any form of sanctions as punishment over his public utterances. According to the movement, it will excite them to see the MP have the testicular fortitude to take action on Ken Agyapong, who recently contested for the MP's presidential ticket but lost. And I'm reading this from today's Insights newspaper. And it continues to say that, where's page 3? Yes, I found you. Addressing a press conference last Sunday, so it was actually Sunday, at his head office in Tessan in Accra, former presidential aspirant and political leader of the base movement, Mr. Jacob Osei-Yeboah, warned the MPP against any peradventure, saying we will also not cease to describe the MPP as Memunatu if it fails to discipline Ken. According to Osei-Yeboah, the base movement was established exclusively to advance the presidential ambition of Ken Agyapong and empower Ghana's youth. He warned that anyone who attempts to hijack the movement for personal political gain will face divine judgment. Mr. Osei-Yeboah said the movement has grown into a formidable grassroots force with a nationwide structure driven by young people who are determined to secure a better future for Ghana through visionary leadership. He notes that the overwhelming participation in the movement's recent mechanism demonstrates that the youth are prepared to take an active role in shaping the country's political future and have embraced the vision championed by the base movement. And it goes on and 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 on. Now, they've actually gone to the extent of inaugurating national committee. They've unveiled 2028 political strategy. I see. That's interesting. Ken is before the disciplinary committee of your party. For some comments that he made, we still don't know. And because it's been almost 2 months, I believe.
No.
It's about like a month. Less than that, yes. I'm sure the disciplinary committee are still looking to it. In fact, we were told that, I don't know who said it, but the person was saying that there was no way Ken would appear before the disciplinary committee even if he was invited. But anyway, that's just by the by. These base people, is that something that the MPP should be concerned about? Or you think that is one of those things, a flash in the pan, a 9-day wonder, who's saying about?
So let me start by saying, good morning to yourself, good morning to the special spokesperson for Finance Ministry.
No, he's MP for Sanknarego.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I thought he was...
You're a member of the Finance Committee, right?
Yes. I mistakenly thought he was the spokesperson for the Finance Ministry.
Yes. No, he's not.
But the Honorable Member of Parliament.
Thank you. Yes. That's the official title.
And the people of Takwa and everyone watching us.
Right.
It is not a novelty to see a group like the one you referred to, the base, emerging in our political landscape. We've seen groups like that sometimes metamorphose into a political party, and then sometimes it remains a group like that. For me, I believe that the MPP as a political party is interested in rescuing Ghanaians from the rhetorics without any evidence we experiencing today. And to achieve that, it is important for us to get everybody on our side, members of the MPP to actively campaign and ensure Dr. Bawumia is elected the president of Ghana. Of course, MPP members who, for whatever reason, decided not to engage in campaigning or supporting the party during our last election to come on board, as well as persons who hitherto were not even members of the MPP to join us. So if there are Ghanaians, whether MPP members or even persons who are not members of the MPP, opting to stay away from the MPP, my wish is to see all of them come and support the MPP in making sure that we see a stronger force in winning power. So if you have some persons, identifiable persons who in the past were members of the MPP joining the base, my wish is to see some of them, or all of them actually, come back to the MPP. The suggestion that the former member of parliament for Asen Central and former presidential aspirant, Honorable Kennedy Chipong, will lead that group. There's no evidence to that effect, and you made reference to what Kwesi Kwarteng
said.
Publicly said. Kwesi Kwarteng speaks for him. So if Kwesi Kwarteng says the man is not involved, who am I to disagree with what he said? And I think that's refreshing. I have seen a lot of these groupings or even breakaway groups from the main political party. One of them is the Dr. Beda Asamoah's party. What was the name?
DFP.
The DFP. Bear in mind, Dr. Beda Asamoah was the chairman of the NDC.
Right. You mean national chairman?
National chairman.
Of the NDC.
Bade Zedin. I think Bade was the deputy general secretary of the party. And other high-level members of the NDC joined the DFP. Today, I understand Bade is back in parliament on the ticket of the NDC.
Yeah.
Dr. Beda Asamoah, I saw him at a recent event of the NDC. So it means that, and that's just first example. The second example is the Nana Kunadu's party.
NDP.
Nana Kunadu also left with former member of parliament for, I think, one of the Krobo constituencies.
Tenyo Onu.
Among others,
Michael
Tenyo Onu.
Yes,
MTN.
Yeah, it's MTN.
It was not very popular in the media.
It was very vocal. Yeah, it was very vocal. Where is he? Atesa, do you know where he is? Michael Tenyo Onu.
They've forgotten about him. They are not taking care of him.
Age is not on the side, you must understand. Yeah, I'm sure by now they are.
No, they have forgotten about him.
They say, Wagogo. Okay.
Yeah. Well, look for him.
This morning.
All right. Yes. So we saw that party as well.
Right.
And I remember some of the guys who were part of that party. My goodness. They were extremely harsh on the NDC. I used to support some of them on my show. And if you recall some of the things they said about the NDC, today, I think about 90% of them, if not more, are back in the NDC. So sometimes out of anger, out of disappointment, and then sometimes out of unfair treatment, you have people leaving their main political party. But I believe that when these things happen, we should be able to find a better way of managing whatever misunderstanding or issues if there are, and ensure that you are able to unite as a same political party. Because what would be the benefit for someone to leave the political party and after 6-8 years' time rejoin? And bear in mind, at the time you leave, the attacks, the negative comments that will be spilled against the main party or the party they are exiting from, if you have to come back, you would have caused so much harm before rejoining. And I don't think that it inures to the benefit of that political party. So my prayer is that people with that responsibility, people with that influence will engage and ensure that those who are members of the MPP within that grouping rejoin the party. You mentioned someone who was a independent presidential candidate. Obviously, this was not someone who was a member of the MPP. So you might have people from different political groupings also joining the base. Of course, my wish is that even the NDC, Ataisa will tomorrow say that, or even today say that he's joining the MPP. We want more people. So whoever they are, it is my expectation that we'll be able to convince all of them to come on board and ensure that Dr. Bawumia is elected president of Ghana in 2028. And I believe it will serve the interest of Ghana better to ensure that the MPP will lose power. So I won't say much about it because I have.
So is that to suggest that there's no cause for worry? Shouldn't the MPP be
even if
monitoring the
even if
activities
one
of
person
this
is
group?
leaving,
Of this group, okay.
even one person is leaving, you wish to have that person come back to the party. So I will not join the people who say that, oh, let them go. No, I don't believe that, because we need every vote to ensure that Dr. Bawumia is elected president. Of course, you cannot also bring everybody on board, because the expectations of people, the disappointment or whatever issue people may have, it is practically impossible to get all of them resolved. And for which reason, some of them may decide not to come back. But of course, why not? It is worth giving it a try and making sure that you put your best foot forward. If it doesn't work, you find out the alternative means of ensuring that Dr. Bawumia is elected.
So we'll take a breather. When we return from the break, I am curious. I want to find out from Ataisa whether his government is behind the formation of the base movement. You know, usually when these things happen, people are always quick to say, hey, are you sure our people are not funding it or behind these things? So Ataisa would set the record straight on this, and he would tell us whether indeed the NDC has anything to do with this or not. So stay with us. Yes, stay with us. Good morning, Ghana.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Hello, people of Ghana. Looking to buy land this World Cup season? I'm here to give you 6 solid reasons why Estate Masters is your most trusted estate partner. 1. We are genuine. Here at Estate Masters, every promise is real, every transaction genuine. We don't just sell lands, we sell peace of mind. 2. We are credible. Our credibility is proven. We are who we say we are, respected, recognized, and trusted across Ghana. We sell litigation-free lands. With us, your land is litigation-free. No disputes, no worries, just security for you and your family. Free site visits. We bring you to the land at no cost. Free site visit mean you see before you buy with full confidence. Your paperwork is on us. We provide free documentation, ensuring your ownership is clear and protected. And yes, you enjoy unbeatable discounts when you buy land from Estate Masters to make land ownership even sweeter. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure your genuine land with Estate Masters. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Every heart burning bright. Oh, oh.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Kakalika, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Femi once now.
Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Femi Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come on, Tom Preko.
Ghana for the second World Cup running, the only Africans left standing.
What's getting a number of good ones? We could take close to 200 doctors. Oh, Piazza Nampi, challenge today, we jackpot day. We did live.
He's in the area. He's gone.
Oh,
it's the Wolaki World Cup Sikapuduo promo. Every 11th June, Kosi 31st July 2026. Play and win your share of the 1 million Ghana City jackpot with a minimum stake of just 10 Ghana Cities. 20 lucky customers go win their share of the 20,000 Ghana Cities daily jackpots. Top 10 agents go chop bonus every weekend. Trying to Wolaki app, Wolaki website. Wo agent who are now dial *288#. Wolaki World Cup Sikapuduo. Kitty one tickets, yeah.
Auntie, one man no chopo. Blow beard your pramame.
Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18. Licensed and regulated by the NLA.
Play small, win big. Abina. Oh, Abina.
Edi asema, menya oden. O tianti mu amanfo ada. O hye me boso beto phone na mame. Me phone na say dada. Menya oden.
The most surprised man.
Ah, surprise ben.
Surprise.
Hey, Kofi papa. E phone o. iPhone 13. Nanya ne?
Ende, me fankofo bi mienu. Amu ko circle. Ene ba ko ne ka chena dan for hour. Ono odi ni Ghana card. E call EBA phone so a. O tua 40% pen e di ni phone man no a. Da aka no betua ne kakra. Timiti ya me drop na me so me call ho. Ene me kwanya o phone de bre o no.
Oh, Kofi papa me da se. I mean show.
There we go good. Let's see what.
Wo EBA phones hadie yeton iPhones ne ho akade nyina ye sanso de ma wholesale so ye dealer na so pedodo atua anase afi na wo hye iPhone business na se a braya se ye hwehwe ye kira kwan e wa Accra Circle Mall any tiptoe lane modern photos in chain American Mall so ye ni odor rice ene edi nhwenim Kumase ye wedum ejekuma brunsan nim obetumi so hu ye e wo www.ebaphones.com EBA phones no hassle cry.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPack.
EduPack?
Yes, EduPack. A GS-approved and supported initiative for all first-year students going to SHS. Buy Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713 *821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.eduparkgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPark, approved and supported by GES.
All right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My guests are still here. But let me say a very big thanks to you. You stayed with us. You didn't move. You didn't go away. We do the tracking online. We notice the numbers are still there. We're in the thousands. Unbelievable, incredible. It doesn't happen anywhere. It's only on Good Morning Ghana. You love your show, don't you? Anyway, so Ataisa is still here. He's the Member of Parliament for the South Nanago constituency, a member of the Finance Committee of Parliament. And also here with us is Fifi Boafo. At some point, he headed the Corporate Affairs Department of Cocoa Board and also a special assistant, more or less, to the Cocoa Board Chief Executive Officer. But he has aspirations. He's a politician. He has ambitions. He wants to become the Member of Parliament for the Taquansoem constituency. And he has a full blessing. And Ataisa has blessed him as well. And so it just shows you how much clout, you know, and how much weight he's going into these elections with. Yes. It's genuine. It's genuine. Yes. After when Ata wants to do something, you do it.
Hey, so you mean the finance BOG man?
Oh, he's MP Fox Anerugu.
Please give me the right designation. I'm a member of Parliament. Wait.
But of course, can't you be
able to give an additional role?
No.
Anyway, let's not be distracted.
1 minute, I'll just say.
Yes, it's 1 minute. The base movement.
Yes.
Okay.
So good morning to my people in Sanargo, to the viewers, and to my senior brother, Eyu Moro. What I would say is that, like I said earlier, my official designation is Member of Parliament for Sanargo, and member of the Finance Committee.
Very important.
In fact, by our laws, I can't work with Bank of Ghana. So that was.
Consultancy is not about.
No, I have not filed to the any committee in Parliament how to do private business. I'm a member of Parliament, proudly representing the good people of Sanargo. Now, I wish him very good luck. I support him to be a parliamentary candidate. I didn't say member. So as for parliamentary candidate, I want to see him there. But we just won the seat for 4 years.
Right.
And for the first time, and I'm sure through the enhanced district assembly allocation, your place is getting its fair share of the development agenda. So give us additional 4 years to see how we perform.
Okay.
Now, coming to the base party, I think that my brother has recounted some of the past breakups that we've seen in our political history under the Fourth Republic. In fact, it even dates back to the First Republic. It has been characterizing our political landscape, how people manage resentment, frustration. People are not able to express it. If they find expression of frustration difficult within the established structures of the party, that form basis for them to establish political parties. But by the Constitution of Ghana, I think they are within their right to establish a political party of their choice once it is in line with the development of this country. Now, I am not surprised with the evolution of the base party.
Right.
I think, like he mentioned earlier, I also saw how NDP came about. It was after an internal election that took place in Sinyane between Professor Mills and the late Mrs. Koredo. That was the basis or the foundation that led to the formation of the NDP. So we couldn't, in fact, it will interest you to know that at the time of the flag bearership election in Sinyane, Mrs. Koredo was the vice chairperson of the NDC. But she moved from the vice chairperson to file for the flag bearership role against a sitting president.
Yes.
Now, when the election was done, how the political party managed the reconciliation was not too effective, and I like to explain it. In national electoral pool, they might not perform great in numbers, but they cause apathy. So people who believe in the individuals will say, if I vote for that individual, they won't win. I won't waste my vote, but I won't show up to vote. It is equally voting against you.
Yeah.
So I hear the MPP always saying that, oh, 2 million people didn't vote. When you decompose that 2 million, chunk of it can be attributable to Alan. They might not have voted actually for Alan, but for the fear that even if they vote, it might not change the impact. But they will show you that they have the power. So, like he said, any individual who leaves a political party should be a source of concern. But we must not also...
But if this analogy is anything to go by, which is for us to accept that 2 million people did not vote for the MPP in the last elections, as the MPP has said, if indeed and in fact it is true, then as a ruling party, you must then be concerned, because if that 2 million changed their mind, what then becomes of the NDC, if indeed it is true?
So that's why I said, as MPP
said, okay. That's not to say you accept.
Because stationarity of data, in fact, their assumptions of that number is always flawed. I've been telling them, human beings are not static people. So you don't do, that's why every election is a cycle on its own.
Right.
So for example, I have close to about 700 people in Sinuane who called and they wanted me to transport them to Tamale to vote. NDC people. But we were in opposition, I couldn't transport them.
Meaning you will do it this time around.
No, I'm saying that you calm down. I'm saying that...
He's still not in government.
I'm still not in government. Yes. I'm in majority.
He's a member of the legislative arm of government.
So Moro, I'm saying that 2 million, a lot of people also are still NDC. It's not every NDC voter that came out to also vote. So you don't analyze your votes because of that.
What if they said to you that in the last elections, they got X?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In this election, they got Y.
Yes.
And they've realized there's been a drop in a certain number.
Yes.
Now, they are saying that logically speaking, these people who did not vote for them, or the number which did not resurface in the new voter turnout, is likely to be their people.
So let me give you another...
Why is that flawed?
It's very flawed because, like I said, if you look at stationarity of data, no two sets of data is unique.
Right.
If you look at the 2020 results, attrition rate, how many people died out of the people that voted for John Mahama and Nana-Addo? You can't tell.
Right.
How many people relocated? In the first place, if I am a voter in Kumasi or Accra here, and my vote is in Kumbungu, and election comes and I don't have fare to go, I could have voted because at the time of 2020 I was in Kumbungu, but today I have moved to Accra. If I don't go and vote, you have not accounted for those categories of people also. The third reason too is that realignment of members. In fact, President Mahama increase in votes that they always talk about. I've been saying that some members of the MPP have actually voted for President Mahama.
Yes.
Some members of the NDC, after 2020, because Bawumia, a northern Muslim candidate, also left NDC and voted for Bawumia.
So you also lost some of your people.
Yes. So
what we don't know is how many.
How many? So that's what I'm saying, that you need to disintegrate the data to now put reasons to each of them or categorize them. If you don't do that, you'll be living in your own bubble, thinking that over 2 million, so let's do those marginal effects. If 1992 to 96, have they done anything like that to tell you how the 2000 election will look like? If that is the case, if NDC had won with a certain margin in 92 and 96, we won with this, and then MPP also increased their margin from 92 to 96, can you compare the marginal increase to the outcome of the 2000 election? No, because even the 2000 election, it still went on to a runoff.
Right.
So every electoral cycle comes with its own dynamics. So I don't buy into that idea.
So are you saying that there aren't static voters?
There are. And that's why political parties have membership drive.
Okay.
What you can be certain about is your members.
Right.
Any other thing can be classified as floating.
Okay.
Now, my final statement, I'm urging them
on the days,
because we have been there before, and it is not pleasant. I see a lot of reconciliatory tone that he has displayed there, and I think that should be the approach, because if you underestimate that, you underestimate it at your own peril. The treatment of Kennedy Agyapong must be handled carefully. And that is the same mistake that they are doing. If you do sample, which is a representative of a population, your police station executive number is quite limited. It's a sample. So the decision that they will take should be able to reflect the generality of the MPP, the thinking. That's what sample means. Now, you went into a contest. Despite all the weaknesses in your contest as attributable to Kennedy and the rest, what they said about the contest. After the contest...
What did they say about the contest?
Oh, they had issues with their open endorsement by people. They had issues with lack of access to some constituency police station executive orchestrated by regional executives. I have evidences of that.
Really?
Yes.
Because I also recall the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong himself and then Dr. Brian Achampong also saying that the contest was a fair contest.
No, that's the post-factor rationalization.
So that's the final analysis of
no. When they went for the peace accord, one of the things that drove the peace accord was because the elections was becoming too chaotic. The speeches, the counter accusations, and all those things was not healthy. So I'm saying that post that, if you are building a reconciliation, I've always said that the best way of healing is time. The time of the healing that was initiated by the party was weak. So you were forcing healing on people. If you know the amount of money that people spend to go to an election, you give it time for time to tell. But putting your election committee, they have set up some committees of the reorganization as part of their reorganization strategies. They've set up some committees. They call them alternative policy committees or something towards their manifesto. I don't know.
Right.
Now you go and put Kennedy as a member of a committee. In fact, there is a lady who is going for one of their positions. She normally doesn't have a lot. She does nice barbered hair. You know her. I've forgotten her name. In fact, I saw a video where she was releasing such vile insults at Kennedy. You go and put such a lady in the same committee with Kennedy. In fact, you didn't even have the courtesy to make Kennedy a chairperson for him to know some level of responsibility has been given to him. You put him as an ordinary member of the party.
No, he was a co-chair.
What's the meaning of co-chair? What's that?
So I think the committees, if you realized, I'm sorry not to cut you.
Oh no, I'm really done.
There are representatives in Parliament or chairman, ranking members in Parliament as co-chair, and then someone outside Parliament as co-chair.
So who is he co-chairing with?
It's co-chairing with the committee.
Who?
I have to double check that. But it's just he's co-chairing with the person. So
my point is that you don't do that.
We cannot also take away the relevance of Parliament or parliamentary representation.
I'm not doubting that.
It's critical because a lot of the conversation is going on in Parliament. So if you bring in somebody from Parliament, it does not in any way.
So don't give him any role in such committees. Brian, Kwabena Agyapong, Dr. Duchum, and Kennedy. For whatever weight it is, they have become an integral component of your victory moving forward. So such people, you need to treat them with caution. Look, when President Mahama went to the flag bearership election with Joshua Alabi, Professor Joshua Alabi, there was no way we could have given him any lesser thing because of the way he carried himself, the way we wanted to build a united front. They made him the campaign manager for the 2020 election.
But wait a minute.
Right.
He was not the only person who contested President Mahama.
Who?
What's his name? Sylvester Mensah. He contested. Was he not the chairman of a committee in the NDC?
Yes, he was.
So,
no, he wasn't the chairman of this. He wasn't. Which committee? Let me tell you the committee he was in. In fact,
he wasn't the chairman, but he was a member of a committee.
I'll give you the difference between them. What you have established is not established structures of your party. These are policy committees. So these are not structural. These are not based on established, your constitution has established certain committees. These are not one of them. These are just policy tools, how to coordinate ideas.
Okay, so gentlemen, let's move on.
Yes, finally, Sylvester Mensah was added to the political committee of the party. In fact, you took that concept from the NDC, the political committee. It is the highest decision-making body in terms of your management of your flag bearer, coordinating party activities, fundraising, all those things. It's managed at that apex level. It's called cabinet in opposition. That is why they've appointed this man as chief of staff. What's his name? Because this time, your review has also shown you that that body is necessary. So I'm saying that treat Kennedy with some level of respect, authority, for him to feel part of it. Because if he remains silent or fulfill the threat he gave you for June next year.
Okay. All right. So gentlemen, I want us let's move on.
Just some 30 seconds on this topic. Yes, it is not a first, like I said, first time experiencing this, because we've even come from the days of Guzitano, who is now the head of the 24-hour economy.
Secretariat.
Yeah, he actually contested Professor Mills, later on formed the National Reform Party. But you see, the NDC today is creating an impression as though, well, it's the MPP that's boiling. But Charlie, we are also hearing things.
Okay.
Those who are seeking to be president, to the extent that even funds that are supposed to go to ministries for ministries to perform their roles.
There's no breakaways. We're talking breakaways.
We are not talking about breakaway, but you see, sometimes the internal rifts.
This is how it starts.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. All right.
That is how the document gets leaked. And when they leak them, we'll receive them.
Okay.
And then we'll share it with the public.
All right. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Anyway, but I mean, to cry the NDC you suffered though. I mean, Democratic Freedom Party left, and then you had a Reform Party, a National Reform Party, and then you had a National Democratic Party. That's the Konedu's National Democratic Party.
I think I've stated that.
You suffered all of
from
that.
us. We have been there. You always tell us that we've never done a competitive flag bearership election. We should learn from it, isn't it? So you two.
This is your first time.
You two.
And you face the
Wait. You two on this one.
Yes.
On this one, we are better managers of that situation. We've been there. Yes. We've seen its ups and downs.
All right.
People break away. I was allow them to go.
All right.
Kennedy is loved in the Northern region. I can assure you.
Okay.
And if you guys don't handle it well, I don't wish you well in.
You're referring to Elena Madekun?
Yes.
Okay. Someone else sent me.
I saw her video.
Okay.
And what she said about Kennedy. In fact, if I am Kennedy and I sit in a committee meeting with that woman, I don't know what I would do.
You don't have the heart of
she was very critical.
Because you see, flag bearership election is an expensive enterprise.
Okay.
Yes, it's an expensive enterprise.
All right. So Fifi, you have not been happy with your own brother, Dr. Kasil Ato Forson. And not you as a person.
Okay.
I mean your party, yes. Yeah. Ato is your very good friend. You've not been told. When I say you, as in your political party.
Ato is actually faulting.
Yes.
What? Ato is faulting.
Is it forcing or faulting?
He's faulting. Okay.
Faulting.
Yeah. He's going to criticize his own brother, which is fine. It's whole much. So you've not been happy with the government, for that matter, Ato Forson, the way he's handling the economy. I've seen the minority press conference.
Addressed by 3 people.
Sorry, addressed by 3. So that's Abuna Ose Asare. Yes, who is MP for Itiwa, and also a former Deputy Finance Minister, and also a Dr. Aminata, who is all of us, that's our big brother here. He also took turn to speak, and then also Kojapon Nkrumah, former Information Minister, former Works and Housing Minister, also a journalist like all of us. Now, you have described the budget in many ways. First of all, you said that is a talk plenty, do little. Government, and for the matter, the finance minister. All because the finance minister was in Parliament on Thursday to present the 2026 media budget review in Parliament. And we all know that it's a statutory requirement, he provided Parliament with an update on the country's economic performance during the first half of the year, as well as the government's fiscal strategy for the remainder of the 2026 year. Now, it was conducted in accordance with Section 28 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, which is Act 921. And as I did indicate, it mandates the finance minister to report on the implementation of the national budget and provide an outlook for the rest of the financial year. We had him where he was reviewing, the review sort of assessed the government's economic management over the past 6 months and so on and so forth. What are the issues that you have with, I don't want to personalize it because it's not, the finance minister, as we do know, is doing this for, on behalf of the president. It's the president's budget. So to personalize that to, it would amount to being academically, academically insincere. So what for you are the main issues? What issues do you have with the media? Why do you think that Nkoye, as some of your colleagues have said?
All right, thank you. As you indicated, this is a statutory requirement, and he's obligated to do that, and indeed he discharged that obligation on behalf of the president of the country. I'll start by a conversation on something a former minority spokesperson on finance, or the ranking member of the Finance Committee of Parliament, later became the minority leader and now the Minister of Finance, what he once upon a time said. And I'm referring to Dr. Kisiel Atuforsen. He said that the microeconomic indicators should not fool anybody. And indeed, the true test is what the people are experiencing.
And there's a quote from him.
Oh, yeah. So I'm actually paraphrasing what he said, but in effect, that's what he said.
Okay.
So today, if Dr. Forsen is talking about inflation coming down, interest rates coming down, and all that, I want us to assess it based on what we are experiencing and the true states of our lives. And I think that is the test to assess as to whether or not half year we are doing better or not. It is also important to, even though I say that yes, it is not just about the data, but the information they themselves shared, I think that it seeks to create an impression that all is well, even though that is not exactly what the story is. And I saw some of our colleagues from the NDC already singing praises of Dr. Forsen, and even attributing things to him that I don't think that the facts support. To suggest that his statement that he is not in Parliament to ask for additional funds was a new thing, it has never happened, and then you ask yourself, where were these people? Because in 2013 it happened.
Where did he say that? Atuforsen himself said that?
He did not say that. I'm just saying that you members of the NDC were saying that the fact that Atuforsen said he was not coming for extra additional funds, it meant something. It's good. At least his spokesperson says that's not what the position of the NDC is. But I wish to make reference to this in response to those who are saying that. So in July 2023, during the media budget reading, the government did not seek additional funding for a fiscal year program. And this you can check this from page 3, paragraph 18 to 21 of the budget. And this is what he said, and I wish to read.
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, for the first 6 months of the year, we have seen improvement in tax revenue, and we are on course to meet target for the year. However, oil revenues have fallen short of expectations due to changes in global prices. We will therefore undertake a downward review of expenditures to align with the underperformance of some of our revenue handles. This will impact the annual budget funding amount, ABFA, and thus reduce the 2023 appropriation. Mr. Speaker, in view of the reasons outlined above, as well as a lower domestic interest payment amortization following the completion of parts of the domestic exchange program and the reduction of foreign finance capex, the appropriation has been revised from 227.7 billion as presented and approved in November 2022 to 206 billion in line with Regulation 24, Sub-Regulation 3 of the Public Financial Management Act, Regulation 2019, LI 2378. The reduced appropriation also reflects a reduction in the interest payment and project loan disbursement due to the impact of DDEP. Mr. Speaker, we will therefore not require a supplementary budget. And I repeat that. Mr. Speaker, we will therefore not require a supplementary budget. So if today they say that Ato Forson is not asking for a supplementary budget, it's a novelty, it's something we should sing Ato is forcing, I'm sorry to say it is not the case. Indeed, Ato is faulting. But back to the main issue. It has to do with a review. And when you are doing a review of expenditure, one key thing which you need to look at is how much money you have and how you are spending it. The conversation about the media review was not on how much they are spending and how much they are getting. Or the finance minister had projected that, well, they were going to raise 261, the revenue grant for 2026 was actually projected at 268.1 billion, up from 226.5 billion in 2025. Half year, they had raised, so half year, based on the revenue target of 2026, they're supposed to have 134 billion. What they have is 126. That was what was reported by the finance minister. This falls short of almost 10 billion Ghana.
Hey.
That's his projection. Halfway.
That's his arithmetic.
Yes. Because if you say that I am going to get X,
yes,
halfway, how much did you get? And what is the shortfall?
It's okay.
So there's a shortfall of 8 billion.
And that has implications. Because you can only, and he says that, well, it's going to ensure stringent measures, they are not going beyond how much they have approved and all that. So if you are able to raise the revenue, what is the implication? The implication is that you will also not be able to spend on the things that you are supposed to spend on. Yes, you will not be able to pay contractors to ensure that our roads are constructed. Yes, you will not be able to ensure that the independent power producers are paid on time to ensure that our lights are on. And even on the bit about road contractors and other contractors who we have contracted to work for the state, failure to pay them on time, the implication is that interest on delay payment will also kick in. Extra cost to the country.
Okay.
And this extra cost, how are we going to take care of it? And it's becoming part of our problem, and it is depriving government's ability to also honor the responsibility the government is supposed to honor on behalf of the people. So the question we also need to ask ourselves, why is government unable to raise revenue, as he said? Because I remember very well during the vetting of the finance minister, Dr. Forson, he indicated that revenue generation was going to be one of the key things he will concentrate on as Minister for Finance. And I wish to ask, why has he failed? What is the challenge? Why is he unable to raise revenue as he projected he was going to raise? I know the Honorable Ataisa will try very hard to say that, oh, well, forget about his inability to raise revenue at that time because halfway down the line, he will make amends for it. But his record does not support that claim.
I mean, Ato's record?
Ato's record, yes. Okay. Because you remember in 2025, at the beginning of the year, they made some promises to us, or they made an assertion to the effect that, well, they were doing better in terms of revenue generation. At the end of the year, there was a shortfall of almost 5% in terms of the revenue generation. So the question you ask yourself is that, based on which track record are you going to trust Ato Forson to deliver on revenue generation? And if you are able to generate revenue, that is the very reason why you have ministers of state complaining. The word in town is that Kilentria, the finance minister, is Kilentria. You know Kilentria. Kilentria is not releasing the funds. And if you are not releasing funds, how are you going to ensure that government business run as expected? There was one very, very striking thing that also came out of the budget presentation. And that was the failure, a loud one, of the finance minister to talk about their flagship program, 24-hour economy. And I was asking myself, why this loud silence on the 24-hour economy? Because, for me, my belief is that the major problem we face as a country today is unemployment. And the NDC came into power promising that they would deliver 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. The finance minister is in parliament to talk about how we are building our country. And he was loudly silent on the issue of 24-hour economy. You know why? Because there's nothing happening, with the exception of speeches from the secretariat that is supposed to ensure that we have 24-hour economy. Not a single institution is practically running a full-scale 24-hour economy. When you talk about 24-hour economy, you know what they will tell you? Oh, there's an Adenta office of DVLA running 24-hour economy. Is DVLA just in Adenta? Is that not a promise? They told us that they were going to employ teachers. In fact, they talked about almost 40,000 or so teachers. I saw the Minister for Education saying that now they are going to employ 7,000. So what happened to the automatic employment of teachers after school? The nurses, they are still complaining. There are no jobs for them. So the silence of the NDC, or the inaction of the NDC to ensure that jobs are created, is also a very worrying information that came out from the media budget review. And I am expecting to see some changes, because honestly, if the youth of this country are still complaining and you do not see any action, you do not see any move from government in ensuring that the youth get employment, except to come and tell you, oh, we've reduced inflation, we brought down interest rates, which is not reflecting. If you tell me you've reduced inflation, and tomorrow, today, you don't go to the markets. But a piece of tomato in toast, it costs 10 Ghana cedis. What? Tomato.
Which market?
Go out there and see. Indeed, I was listening to CTFM this morning, and they say that the cost of tomato has actually increased about 40%.
This year?
This year. In those, they are quite, they have to see what a piece is 10 Ghana cedis. So where is the investment in agriculture? Or is that the reason why the Minister for Agriculture is complaining that government is not releasing funds in order for them to also operate? And that is why we have a piece of tomato costing.
Which market?
Oh, well, I do not know if you have a special market that sells tomato anything less than 10 cedis for one.
A lot.
I will appreciate it if
Medina.
Oh, don't worry, that is not true, because I go to
one
Medina
piece
market.
of tomato is not 10 cedis.
I thought you were going to refer to a different market, because I am very familiar with the Medina market, so don't.
You've not been there for some time.
Oh, I go there, Charlie. Come and see me with the women. I see me haggling with the market women. But this one, I didn't wear the I'm warning them, I didn't wear this. Indoors. No way. Today, now I was on my way here, I was listening to radio. GPRTU is meeting the Ministry for Transport on their proposal to increase
30%
transport fare by 30%. So if food items are going up by 30%, drivers are seeking to increase transport fare, but food items by 40%. They are seeking to increase transport by 30%. You know already, electricity, we are almost 30%. Water, you know where we are. So if they come and present to you fine statistics that do not reflect in your life, then really, what is there? If you want to test as to whether or not they are giving contractors money, check the status of our roads. There's big push, which seems to be the concentration of government. If you speak to the people in the industry, they will tell you, actually now it's all about big push. Apart from big push, all other things, nothing is happening. Even that, are they paying the contractors? No, we live in Accra, the capital city of Ghana. Just look at the exit points of our country and look at the status of it. Check the motorway, the chaos there. Or go to Afienya, try to use Dodowa, go to Kumasi Road. Now it takes us about 12 hours and more to drive from Accra to Kumasi. A journey people were doing less than 3-4 hours. Now it takes you. If you want to be sure as to whether contractors are getting paid or not, go on the road and it will tell you. You know what the contractors do? The moment they realize that government is not giving them the money, they will create a lot of holes, a lot of chaos on the road, and they start complaining. When you complain, but the government is not releasing money. So it will force government to release money, so they will go back to the road. And that's how they compare government, because when the discomfort hits the people so hard, they start complaining, and government will have to. And it is the situation almost everywhere you go to. So the people who are talking about figures, statistics, even though the figures and the statistics they talk about, the very important one as to raising revenue to ensure that the things get done is not there.
Okay.
Then it should tell you that what they are doing.
All is not well.
Oh, Charlie, plenty.
Okay.
Plenty.
All right.
Just
okay. Now, I tell you that a number of issues. I'm sure you have he's raised a number of. I don't know how you're going to do this because we don't also have all day. So you may have to cherry pick the ones that you are the most crucial ones.
He has to admit that all is not well, and they make you give us an indication of how they seek to salvage the
situation.
All right, okay. So let me say good morning to you.
Remember, you said you've taken the economy from ICU to now a wellness center.
Yes.
And if the wellness center, we buy tomato, a piece of tomato for 10
cents. Oh, a wellness center means we're still recovering. It means we haven't arrived. That's wellness center. Why?
Yeah, you can imagine when we are at ICU.
So, Moro, what I'll say is that,
all right,
budget statement and mid-year would mean nothing to the unemployed graduates, to women at the markets who are finding it difficult in life, and to citizens of this country who are finding discomfort. But let's be honest, whatever the circumstances of this country is today is better than it was in 2024. Mm-hmm. That cannot be disputed. That is not to suggest that every issue in this country has been resolved. And I'm not sure there is any single government who will say it has finished its mandate. The objective of governance is to maximize welfare of citizens. So until that is achieved, governance is a continuum. To that end, permit me to say that I believe that the research agenda is not a one-year agenda. It's a 4-year mandate that seeks to deliver that value to citizens. So if you are measuring the performance of a budget, you look at the economic agents, households and businesses, and then the industries, isn't it? At the households levels, It is not what Fifi says here or I say. The African Development Bank, Ministry of Finance, World Bank, IMF has characterized what measures or indicators you use to measure household welfare. Number one, we talk about inflation. Let's not create that mischief in the minds of Ghanaians that when they say inflation is slower or low, it means that no price should increase. We have over 7,000 food items in the basket. So a one item increase, it is the aggregate, the weighted average of all the products together that gives you the inflation, the rise. So one can be an outlier. That can be by 30%, by 40%, but others can also be a deflation. When you net it off, then you get the rate. So it is misleading to go on the tangent that, oh, because fuel price has gone up by this, and yet we are saying inflation is coming. That would be a misleading statement to make. And that's what the IMF has given as a welfare indicator. Look, I have this report that was released by the IMF on the multi-poverty dimension. It has fallen from 24.9% in Q3 of 2024 to 21.9% in Q3 of 2025, equivalent to about 950,000 people moving out of multi-poverty dimension in Ghana.
So you're suggesting that our standard of living has improved?
Has improved. Yes. So my point basically is that
look at it. Just for him who buys only tomatoes, it has not improved.
So that's what I'm saying. That
no, I didn't say I only buy tomato. I made mention.
So I said this for a reason. You see, what he was actually saying, suggesting was you attend to that.
I'll respond.
Because what only cheap. What are tomatoes? And on board, and then you put all of that together and say,
it's only fair that I allow you.
So please go ahead.
Inflation is not the absolute reduction of price of all goods and services by 5%. That's not the meaning of what is happening in Ghana. Tomorrow, Ghana consumes in 2025 alone over 28 billion Ghana cedis worth of imports.
Yes.
Yamadia and other processed foods. Do you know that imported inflation has reduced by 29% since we came to office? That becomes real savings to businesses or importers. Moreover, to the businessman, even though inflation at your time, and sometimes I do this basic mathematics, if you are buying something at 100 Ghana cedis and inflation is 23%, when there is that increase, it will increase by 23 cedis. So your new price will now be 123 Ghana. Now, if it is 5%, the price will now be 5 cedi plus the 100 Ghana. It will be 105. 123 and 105, this is savings.
Right.
That becomes increasing the purchasing power of the consumer. That is the understanding of inflation. Now, let's come to businesses. I'm saying that if you have the policy rate moving from 30% to 14%, if you have the Ghana reference rate moving from 29% to 10.06, if you have the bank lending rate moving from average 32% to 15.6%. If you have access to private capital moving from 7 billion Ghana cedis to 28 billion Ghana cedis in 2025, on what grounds will you say that the business community is suffering? Governance has never put money directly into the pockets of citizens. Governance creates economic conditions necessary to drive growth and development. If you have a stable macroeconomic environment like this, what else do you expect government to do to support business and private sector? In fact, as a result of good banking sector management, GCB is now the top 3 banks in Africa. Moro. Now, let's look at, I'll come to the revenue performance. He seemed not to get it clearly, but I'll get there. I just want to take, this is what the IMF has given as welfare measures or indicators we should use. African Development, but whatever, so far. That's well acknowledged. Just type on your phone, what are the welfare indicators in measuring the health of an economy?
So if IMF says that and I go and within my basket,
yes,
all the things I'm buying are up, I should say that I'm
no. So wait, I began by saying that you see, if you look at my introduction, I said that it does not mean everybody has a better life. It means that these are, in fact, it's just like saying that I have malaria, I have taken my first dosage, it's level 3 other dosage, the first dosage hasn't healed you, then means that it won't work. Growth and stability is a natural consequence for job creation. No, but, and I'm telling you that every sign you can measure, every sign, I dare you here, every sign you can measure in governance is better today than it was in 2024. Every.
Okay.
Not even one.
That's fine. So now, please continue. Say growth and...
Now let's come to, I said growth and stability will lead naturally to job creation and sustainability. Naturally, that is the economic. In fact, every economic philosopher will tell you that growth is a condition precedent. Stability is a condition precedent for sustainability and job creation. Moro, let's come to the external sector performance. Look, at a time, Ghana was described as an economy that was highly unsustainable and highly unstable with a bad outlook. In fact, in the common language, Ghana was described as junk. Why? We approached the IMF not at the strongest bargaining power of Ghana. In 2015, Ghana approached the IMF for policy credibility. In 2023, Ghana approached the IMF for balance of payment deficits. You ran double-digit continuous deficit from 2020. The economy was not doing well. That is why you went to the IMF.
And you know why?
The why you mentioned to me, I will tell you that it is a wrong narrative because there is no African country, the 54 or 5 African countries, Ghana was the outlier.
But Issa, you also admit that in terms of COVID management, the extent we went in managing COVID could not be equated to the other countries.
Let me give you another.
So we'll go back to this debate again.
Let me. No, wait.
That would divert you from your presentation.
I will just use 10 seconds. Okay. Let me also discourage you from pursuing that argument. Don't do it anywhere. Let me tell you. You measure. Wait. You measure the number of reported cases versus your mortality.
Right.
So mortality over the number of cases. Right. Ghana still performed poorly than Togo.
Okay.
Check it right now.
All right.
You measure the number of people who died out of those who committed the COVID. Ghana still performed poorly. Yet we spend more than any other person in Africa. Why? No, let's not do those things.
Okay.
Now let's look at the external sector I was talking about. Look, the external component of our debt. What drove us out of the capital market? The best years of MPP was 2017, 2018, and 2019, isn't it?
Yes.
Because Fifi and Co will tell us that after 2020, COVID, let's grant them your best years, 2018, 2019. In just those years, you borrowed $13 billion. And that is the difference between us and them. In NDC, since President Mahama first term, we have never went to Parliament under a review to ask for one additional revenue. In terms of fiscal adjustment, MPP conception of fiscal adjustment is by saying that let's up revenue. In 2019, they came and introduced the vehicle luxury tax. Under a mid-year review, what was the necessity of the vehicle luxury tax? That it couldn't wait to be passed in November for the main budget. They brought it under a mid-year because they saw that revenue was underperforming. So their concept of fiscal management is always let's maintain expenditure while drive revenue mobilization, even if it is at the detriment of the Ghanaian. In 2020, let's grant them its COVID year. They came back for a mid-year through a supplementary estimate request and introduced new tax measures through increasing the income tax threshold and then bringing back COVID-19 relief levy. You remember? All those things happened in 2020 and 2019. NDC has never gone to a media and asked for one single Ghana cedis. In fact, what you do in fiscal management, you don't only revenue, look at also expenditure. Because when you borrow, when you drive more revenue, either you tax out people, and Lafayette will tell you that when you tax people to optimum level, you lose your tax revenue, but people will not be compliant. So if you don't want to tax, you borrow, and I'll come to debt accumulation. You borrow, and when you are borrowing, it has two effects. Either you are borrowing domestically, that crowds out the private sector, or if you borrow externally, you have to finance it through more borrowing, and that's what we saw under President Akufo-Addo. Now, currently, the external sector is looking favorable. All the rating agencies in Ghana have given us favorable outlook. In fact, the basis of the positive outlook is not as a result of the economy you handed over to us. All the cues that you took could have resulted in a good outcome for 2024.
Dr. Amin Nanta disagrees with you. His argument is that today, the external borrowing, which also includes Eurobonds and so on, and the fact that at some points we couldn't pay, we were crowded out of the international market. We told the world that, look, you owe us, but we don't have money to pay you. And so the government then decided to do some debt, what we call engage in debt operations. And here we're talking the DDP. Now this DDP, which then sort of kicked the can down the road, which is that I won't pay you today, I'll pay you tomorrow. Because I don't have the money today, I'll pay the money tomorrow. And I'm doing this figuratively. That is what you, the NDC, are benefiting from. The fact that you are not paying big money today is because that arrangement has been made. So credit the past government for doing DDEP. And don't make it look like you've done something extraordinary.
So let's look at it from this way.
How do you respond to
debt management? You need to understand the drivers of the debt. What led us to that debt, DDEP? What led us there?
So does it change the fact that...
It changed. I'll tell you why it changed. I'll tell you why.
That now, because
I will tell you why.
You are not paying, because there's over... Anyway,
I'll tell you
please
why.
Let him land, yes.
I'm saying that...
Otherwise you lose the trend of thought.
I'm saying that the DDEP is as a result of a governance failure that drove us there. Now, in resolution of that government failure, the IMF realized that if you were to use only the debt of central government minus SOEs, we're headed towards 104% of debt to GDP ratio.
Crazy.
The IMF said, decompose them, making sure that you absorb all the debt, including the SOE's debt. When we brought that debt, and we look at our revenue projections over the next 5 years, they realized that even in 5 years' time, Ghana could not recover. That was why they brought those three instruments, the Dachi bonds, the external component, and then the locally issued government bonds through the T-bills. When you are looking at the advantage, don't forget the disadvantage. The disadvantage is the pain it costs to the pensioner. In fact, what drove non-performing loans in 2024 and 2023 in banks was a result of DDEP. Depositors lost hope because coupon rates on all T-bills that was purchased by banks were cut. And then people should know, a lot of those restructuring that happened did not bring nullification of those debts. It only brought a postponement. Next year and next 2 years, government is expected to cough up 111 billion Ghana cedis. Where are we going to get it? Your entire annual revenue.
I thought the finance minister said he's made provision.
No, you don't get my point.
You asked me.
Wait.
No, I think the point he's trying to make is that it's going to be a burden on the government. That's the point he's trying to make.
I'm saying that
because they have to raise it anyway, regardless.
So please, you can't say that the DDEP has helped. It has helped you people in meeting some reform targets, as was said by a condition precedent for the achievement of your program. That was not your intention. In fact, at that time, your solution was the ACOBAM e-levy. That if you bring e-levy to solve all our problems, we told you that it's a floating, not a stock. You can't tax one money. I send money to you, you send the same money, you send the same money, you tax all of us. One money being taxed by multiple outlets. We said that was a regressive tax. Don't do it. They refused. They went and hit the road. Now they came and caused that harm to the citizens.
But sorry, and we don't want to remind the people of this pain.
Yes.
But just a quick one.
I'll be down.
Is it absolutely true that the DDP only postponed the debt repayment? In some cases, people's monies were halved.
Yes,
as you said.
I've already agreed that.
Yes,
it does not mean all was because of nullification.
Okay,
it doesn't mean all was
I get
nullified.
it. I needed
make
to hear that.
The issue that when they say domestic debt exchange program, it means everything was cancelled.
Right.
A lot of them was either
drastically reduced,
postponing the maturity, or doing a haircut on the coupon. Only a few instances where there was a cut in principal.
Right.
In fact, the external sector said no way will they allow any of their principal to be cut. Now look at the debt accumulation. I said that their best years was 2017 to 2018 and 2019. Let's go. I'll just grant him only these three. In 2020, annual debt. Let's even come here. I'll bring the 2020 one.
Why are you skipping 2020?
I'll have it here. I have it there. Look, 2017 is from here. Don't worry. 2017, MPP, the total debt of this country was 142.6 billion. 2018, they moved it to 173 billion. 2019, they moved it from 218 billion. 2020, they moved it to 315 billion. 2021, they moved it to 362.5 billion. 2022, they moved it to 448 billion. 2023, they moved it to 610 billion. 2024, they moved it to 726.7 billion. And just 1 year, 2025, we move it from 726 billion to 630 billion. What is my point? My point is that look at the appetite. So your way of financing government expenditure was to resort to this. And that's why I'm interested in giving you the absolute additions. In fact, how can you from 2021, you increase Ghana's public debt by 47 billion Ghana cedis in 1 year? In 2022, you increase Ghana's public debt by 85.5 billion, double what you did in 2021. In 2023, you increased it by 162 billion. 1 year. And then almighty 2024, you did it 116 billion Ghana cedis in 1 year.
But is it the monies they borrowed or what they used the money for? What exactly is your concern?
So my concern is that emerging markets, you don't hang yourself with debt.
Even if what they're going to use the money for makes sense.
If you are going to invest it in revenue or investment that will generate those monies, like the Accra Expressway, it's self-financing.
Right.
The airports that we will build, it's self-financing.
Right.
So when you are doing those things, you will know that when you do your cash flow projections, you can tell when you are expected to recover.
And I'm asking this question because
these monies, I'm saying these monies, all this borrowing that we had done resulted us into an inflation of 23%. It resulted us into unemployment of 14.7%. It resulted us into depreciation of 19%. It resulted us into cost of living crisis.
So that's reckless.
It still led us to IMF. All these things happened, yet we still went to IMF under a program. Finally, my brother talked a lot about the budget. In fact, look at what the IMF stated as the basis for the increase in debt. And more follow me.
Okay.
Exchange rate depreciation. A lot of the public debt we saw under them was the exchange differentials. They could not manage the city. All the external components of your loans, the dollar, as a result of the fact that you couldn't manage your city. If you borrowed money...
And what is the cost of managing the dollar today?
It is still stable.
That's another conversation. So we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. But for now, let's
because of large scale of debt is foreign currency denominated. CD appreciation increase its nominal value without equivalent increase external disbursement.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that you couldn't manage the city. It increased our debt stock. Financial and energy sector liabilities. You left a total debt of $8 billion in the energy sector alone. IMF has attributed to it. Arrears and unpaid commitments is also a debt restructuring and valuation effects. These were some of the reasons that accounted for this massive debt. My brother talked about budget execution. Oh, Atufosin is not spending. Is that not what you've been saying? So let's look at your record. Whether Atufosin is spending or not. Moro, this is the Ghana fiscal performance 2017 to 2026. Let me Ghanaians, you can easily Google it. He first started by saying that revenue is not performing. Yes.
Yeah. What was your target and what did you realize?
And the argument he makes about you had projected to raise 134 billion cedis. You ended up raising 126, recording a shortfall of 8 billion. Now, from those numbers, fiscal numbers, he fears that just as it happened in 2025, where you missed the target by some 5%, it could actually get worse this year. How do you respond to that as well?
So what I would say basically to that is that, Fifi, you've been in public service for some time. You know that you don't do half-year analysis of revenue targets and outturns. The reason is simple.
But there's an essence to do a
The reason is simple. No, wait. The reason is simple. Most economic activities don't take shape in half-year. You and I know commitment authorization that would generate the taxes in government sectors, for example. When did we pass the budget? November
last year.
Is that not it?
Yes.
It will kickstart in January, isn't it? Now I'm saying that in January, even budget releases to ministers to even procurement time list.
So technically he's saying that Ato has not released the money.
No, wait.
That's what you're saying.
I will demonstrate why it is consistent. I will demonstrate why it is consistent with
the usual practice.
You are not realizing it because he has not released the money.
We have 4 quarters in the calendar year.
Yes.
The first 2 quarters mostly is for project designs and then budgeting, planning, procurements. If you are doing competitive tender, for example, how long does it take for procurement? Even if you are doing single source, it takes time. If you are doing restricted tender, it takes time. Economic activities are usually slow in the first 2 quarters of the year. If you look at DACF this year, DACF is a function of revenue. Just as I'm a common it's a function of revenue. First quarter money has just been released. Why? Because in the first quarter, a lot of revenue will not kick in. So now, second and third quarter is where the bulk of activities happen. And that's why normally when you are doing revenue targets and outturns, you do the whole year. Now, Moro, look at something. This is the revenue variance table. I already stated that my interest is their best year. 2017, 2018, and 2020. The rest were baller. So I'll do the baller one. 2017, they budgeted to raise 44 billion Ghana cedis. They raised 41 billion. So there was a shortfall of 3 billion. So the execution of them realizing the revenue that they wanted was 91.8%. 2018, they budgeted to do 49.40. They ended up by getting 42.81, a difference of 6.34 billion. The budget execution was 92%. In fact, Ato Forson, I said I will mention only there are 3. In fact, 2020, which is worse, 82% budget execution in terms of revenue target. So in revenue, your best was 2023. Yeah, your best was 2023. Look at it. Your best 2020, the 134.91 billion and 138.88 billion. You only missed the target by negative 1.04 billion. So that means that you achieved 99.2%. But I'm saying, under an IMF program, I'm saying, Ato Forson, the one you say he is not spending, and he's not raising enough revenue. 2025, he budgeted to raise 229.95 billion. He ended up by getting 226.96 billion. He only missed revenue target by 3.46 billion, doing a budget execution of revenue mobilization by 98.5%. On what grounds will you sit here and say Ato Forson is not generating the needed revenue? Now, on expenditure,
and please end on expenditure.
I will not do that. This is my last thing. On expenditure, my brother talked about saying that, Ato Forson is not spending. And this is so usual of the MPP, and I think that it's high time that we deal with the matter. Moro, their best years again. 2017, 2018, 2019, despite all the borrowing I've talked about, in terms of expenditure, they executed their target against the outturn by 94.5% in 2017, 95.7% in 2018, 96.5% in 2019. 114%. It means that they overspend beyond their means in 2020, COVID, I'll grant that for you, COVID. 98.1% 2021, 102% in 2022 under an IMF program from May. And then 91.1% in 2023. They couldn't even spend up to 92%. NDC and our two forces spent 93.4% in 2025. My point is simple. You cannot look at all this evidence and still come to a conclusion that Atuforsen is not spending. On what metrics? Now, look at what the table that, look, budget execution scorecard. This one, I will share you with your
viewers.
Yes. So that they will all.
Oh, you mean our production team?
Yes.
Okay, so we can put it out.
2017. Revenue execution by MPP was moderate. Expenditure execution was restrained. Overall score, amber. Caution. Now, 2018, revenue execution weak. Expenditure execution below aggregates. Overall score, red. And you know when they say something is red. 2019, revenue execution, fair. Expenditure execution, fair. Overall score, amber. And the attribute results to deficit management improve in 2019. Agreed. 2020, original budget failed. COVID, let me leave COVID, sorry. 2021, near nominal target in your revenue. You did well with revenue. I've already stated that. Execution of expenditure you were near it. But because of the deficit in 2020, it followed you to 2021. So they still describe its deficit remained exceptionally high despite nominal execution. So I agree. Let's come to Atuforsen. I won't bore viewers. I'll give it to you. 2025, revenue execution broadly on target. Expenditure execution fairly. Overall score green stroke amber. So, and they decided subject to corrections, subject to final audited confirmation. So the IMF is saying that they were here to confirm the figures that was put as at the time they released this report.
Okay.
But on the ground, they said we were doing well, fairly well with the revenue, we were doing fairly well with expenditure. Okay. But because of corrective measures that we had to take, the pills we had to take, as a result of the slippages that was occasioned under the NPP last year in office, because of elections, you postponed the utility tariff adjustment program from October. You move it all the way, saying that in your handing over note, you indicated that you were supposed to increase electricity and water under the October. You increased it by only 3% and said that the rest will be done in February when you win power. Yet you didn't win. A new government came under an IMF program. And then we were asked to continue the program, and we did. The central point I'm trying to tell my brother is that Ghana currently, despite our challenges, is still better than MPP. The social services that you introduced, we haven't abolished any.
All right.
School, free SHS is still working. LEAP program is there. Juba Wura has come to stay. And then Maslog and many other social interventions. We are giving money to people for businesses.
Where?
Across the country.
Okay.
Across the country.
So we'll take a short break. When we come back, I'm sure that you want to touch on 24-hour economy. Because it's been missing in the conversation. Yeah. So when we return, we'll do 5 minutes each because our time is almost up. Yes. But before we go, let me say that Metro TV and Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital are proudly present the Clean Conference 2026. It's actually under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff. The theme is assessing Ghana's progress towards the UN SDGs Agenda 2030, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, SDG 7, clean energy, and SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. It's happening on Friday, 21st August 2026 at the CD Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. And with just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation with Metro and Original Sanitation, and a conference with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah. The Clean Conference bringing together government development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians. And there's also going to be a cleanup exercise the next day, which is on Saturday, 22nd of August 2026. It's also led by the Chief of Staff. So join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. So yes, it's a big one that's coming up. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana. Please don't go anywhere.
With the Chief of Staff. Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital, under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff, proudly present the Clean Conference 2026 under the theme Assessing Ghana's Progress Towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, SDG 7, Clean Energy, and SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. Friday, 21st August 2026, 9 a.m. at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. With just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation, the Metro and Original Sanitation Conference, with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. The Clean Conference, bringing together government, development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians. Change is not only in conference rooms, so there will be a cleanup exercise on Saturday, 22nd August 2026, also led by the Chief of Staff. Join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. Metro Clean Conference. Wahuni Diema on Maini Tumpong.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561 032 252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Welcome to Gentleman Dental Clinic, where we run all dental procedures such as examination and consultation, root canal treatment, scaling and polishing, braces, teeth whitening, extraction, restoration, that is filling, teeth replacement. With this, we have the dentures, the bridges and implants. Visit our branches nationwide at Tamale, Tishibu, opposite the post office. Also at Kumasi, Abreport Junction. Techiman Magazine off the Market Road. You can also locate us at Kofrija Central Market, adjacent the Central Police Station. Takrady, Tadisco Junction. Accra, our 2 branches are located at Atomic Dam, Kwabenya Runabout, and also at Nungwa, behind the Nungwa main road station. You can call us on 059 87 31 823. Judgment Dental Clinic. It is time to smile again.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hidradenitis suppurativa, using laser Legasure for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Madam, I'm looking for Abena.
Abena, there's someone looking for you.
Madam, please, where's Abena?
Abena? Yes, ma'am. Is this who you are looking for?
Madam, please get me Abena. Please.
Della. Abena, bra.
Abena. Oh, Abena. If it's not Abena rice, I can't eat any other. More.
Abena rice. FDA
Good day, fellow Ghanaians. Dr. Adelaide Arobasi Ejafon is my name, Executive Director of the Jospon Group of Companies and the CEO of the African Agribusiness Consortium. By the grace of God, after several years of contributing significantly to Ghana's sanitation and waste management transformation, the Jospon Group made another bold decision a few years ago to support the transformation of Ghana's agriculture sector. As we became more involved in the agriculture sector, we realized that although Ghana has enormous agricultural potential, transforming the sector would require the active participation of a new generation of skilled and passionate young people. That is why, in partnership with the People's Friendship University of Russia, Rodin University, we sponsored 118 young Ghanaians to pursue postgraduate studies in agriculture and environmental sciences. Our goal was to prepare young professionals who will help drive Ghana's agricultural transformation. In about 2 weeks' time, these graduates will return home. They are coming back with knowledge, skills, and fresh ideas, and we are proud to welcome them home. I believe their success will not only benefit as individuals, but will also contribute to the growth of our agriculture sector and the development of our country. I wish to express my sincere appreciation to the People's Friendship University of Russia, Rodin University, for being a valued partner in this journey, and to the Embassy of Ghana in the Russia Federation for its unwavering support and commitment to the welfare of our students throughout their studies. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana.
All right, so watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. We're almost done for the day, but I'll give my guests a minute each to wrap up. And I know politicians struggle with time. So, Fifi, can you please do me this favor? I know you've been in my situation before. So, what are you saying in a nutshell?
Well, before I wrap up,
yes,
I wish to make some reference to some information. He shared a lot of data, and for me, it does not change the story that the Ghanaian is facing the hardship.
Okay.
But just to judge them on what they did in 2025 and what the situation
is today
present to us going forward. So revenue versus expenditure figures. Although at half year in 2025, the government described revenue performance as robust and highlighted that non-oil tax revenue was exceeding target by 787 million. Corporate income tax was above target, mineral royalties above target, but the broader picture is more nuanced than that.
Okay.
At Q3, the 2026 budget admitted non-oil tax revenue fall of 4.1% below target, with a shortfall in PAYE, corporate income tax, VAT, and then also excise duty, growth and sustainability levy, as well as import duty. By full year 2025, a revised total revenue target of 229.95 billion. The actual was actually 24.88 billion. Tax revenue target was 189.96 billion. The actual was 183.99 billion. That's the full year tax revenue and the short target by approximately 6 billion. So in all, the revenue was missed by about 4.7 billion. So if it tells you that, beginning of the year, you are not doing so well, it gets better with time. What they told us beginning, allow.
Okay, go ahead.
What they told us half year, that it was promising, it actually got worse.
Okay.
So if today he's telling that, it's not looking great at this time, it will get better, that is not the case.
Okay.
But let me just address it finally, because
you've exhausted your 1 minute.
Said one profound thing, that growth is a condition for sustainability and job creation.
Yes.
What is the status of job creation today? He likes to make reference to statistics. The Statistical Service is actually telling us that today, if you meet young people in Accra, 1 out of every 2 young persons you meet in Accra is unemployed.
Okay.
So where is the growth he's talking about? If indeed he says growth would automatically lead to job creation, and today unemployment is everywhere, then where lies the growth he's talking about?
Okay.
He said, inflation. We should not take just one item out of inflation. But of course, what I wish to do, what every reasonable individual will do, is to go through the baskets and look at what affects me.
That's fine.
And for me, I think the most important one people will refer to, how much am I paying for rent?
Okay.
Water, electricity, fuel, food items like tomatoes, basic.
Okay.
Basic.
Okay.
Transport.
Okay. You've done 3 minutes.
Is that below the 5%
you've exhausted
you are
your
talking
time.
about? So just to land, if they are today,
okay,
you will never land.
Allow it.
If they are today, please do.
If today they are spending about 34 billion just to keep inflation down, and it is not reflecting in our pocket because I'm paying more for rent, I'm paying more for water, I'm paying more for electricity, I'm paying more for fuel, I'm paying more for transport, and there's unemployment. Then where lies the impact of all the statistics you churned out?
Right.
The effect is that we are worse off and we are paying more, and our situation is not better, and unemployment is on the high.
You've taken it after his time.
So Fifi is part of why Ghanaians are suffering today. And I'll tell you that a cancerous situation that is almost ending someone's life requires aggressive medication. Fifi is part of the people that cause us to have deficit financing in Ghana. Cocoa Board alone plunged this country into chaos. Financial
you want us to get into that?
Wait. Now, Moro,
yes,
you see me, overall, I would say that our goal, the 24-hour economy was mentioned in the media review. It was mentioned. Just that he doesn't read all. It is 107 pages. As your minority MPs, it is before the House.
So in terms of priority, you did not
consider that as a
priority. That's fine. Now we get to that. It's not a priority to
Now, Moro, this is the Ghana's fiscal history between 2017 and 2026. I'm not reading. I'm just mentioning the highlights. And I'll bring my scorecard on our 247 in 1 minute. 2017 to 2029, the IMF described Ghana to be doing consolidation, but persistent revenue underperformance. That is the verdict of the IMF and the World Bank. Now, 2020 to 2021, this is what they said. COVID-19 fiscal expansion. Agreed. 2022, debt and macroeconomic crisis. Why we went to IMF for a bailout. 2023 to 2024, IMF supported adjustment, but major 2024 slippage. 2025 to 2026, renewed consolidation. That is the verdict. The verdict is that there's a renewed consolidation. We are in a part of recovery. Ghanaians will see the light at the end of the tunnel. And this is my scorecard for Dr. Atuforsen and the government. Macroeconomic stability that they are not comfortable with, I assess them to be very strong, and it is based on the inflation, growth, fiscal discipline, external indicators improve seriously, like I talk about the rating agencies.
You wanted 1 minute.
Debt sustainability. Wait, but I'm just giving my own. Debt sustainability, I will say.
How can a spokesperson be assessing his own boss?
He's MP for Sanero. Please.
The man speaks for Atuforsen, and now the man who speaks for Atuforsen is assessing Atuforsen.
Fiscal credibility.
Please.
I'm landing. Fiscal credibility. Wait.
We can buy fuel.
Wait. Fiscal credibility. I'll say Dr. Atuforsen is doing well. Okay. He's been within his means. Okay. He's spending only what he has. Right. He's not in a hurry to return to the capital market. Okay. We are not crowding out businesses that we used to see under the MPP.
Government ratio thing. Bank of Ghana has taken about 30
on jobs. He allows you to talk. Why don't you allow him to talk?
On jobs,
yes.
I would say that much needs to be done.
Much needs to be
done. Ghanaians will not forgive us
if you don't create jobs.
Not create the needed jobs.
All right.
But on social protection for my women, if you go to a district assembly, every district has 2 chiefs compounds minimum, 2 secondary schools, 10 schools, everywhere across the country.
So, gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I need to remind you before we leave that if you're looking for a company or an organization that's very good with procurement, management consultancy and investment advisory, and also important export, let me recommend to you MNC Group. They are totally reliant. Just call them on 0302-998-246. Thanks for watching another edition of Good Morning Ghana. Have a wonderful day. What would we have done without you? Bye-bye. Take care.
Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital, under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff, proudly present the Clean Conference 2026 under the theme Assessing Ghana's Progress Towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, SDG 7, Clean Energy, and SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. Friday, 21st August 2026, 9 a.m. at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. With just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation, the Metro and Original Sanitation Conference, with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. The Clean Conference, bringing together government, development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, young people, and all Ghanaians. Change is not only in conference rooms, so there will be a cleanup exercise on Saturday, 22nd August 2026, also led by the Chief of Staff. Join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. Metro Clean Conference.
Are you ready to go on an adventure across Africa with your favorite trees? Yes, that's right. Nuzo and Namia are back. Join them on curious adventures full of wonder and discovery, unexpected friendships, big feelings, and stories that unlock the power of imagination. And for parents, every episode helps your children build literacy, comprehension, emotional learning, and confidence through storytelling they love. So come dream bigger, laugh louder, and explore a world of wonder. Nuzo and Namia. Find your nearest station and showtimes now at nuzoandnamia.com. Bye for now.
Nuzo and Namia. Storytellers travel.